We're going to show you how to saddle a horse here on the channel today. This is a pretty broke ranch horse, but what I'm going to do for the most part is what you should do on any horse of any age. The one thing, just like our getting on video, you need to have contact with this lead rope the whole time. In the saddling process, it's going to be hard to hold it sometimes, so just draping it is good. As you can tell also, he's not tied. If you're going to saddle while the horse is tied, I would recommend taking your tie off and wrapping it. So we can kind of show you a couple reasons why we would do that. I'm going to show you two different ways to saddle. One would be the traditional way that a lot of people do, and then I'm going to do the way that I do it. The traditional way is to do everything on their left side, so your right side. When you approach them with the saddle blanket, whether they are broke or not, make sure to just go slow. If you were to throw this up at them, even if they're broke, they might have a problem with that. But you'll want to present it slow and then work it back onto the animal to try to keep the hair all facing the right direction. It's not going to hurt them a lot, but it'd be irritating. And then go ahead and grab your saddle. Notice I'm keeping the lead rope in my arm. Then I just make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to get as close as I can, and I'm going to usually stay right here where this front leg is. If something were to go wrong, this keeps me pretty safe. It's hard to kick me with their back feet from here, and it's really hard to run me over from right here. So the biggest thing that I think to do is to swing the saddle on instead of lift the saddle on. So I started over here on this hip. I swing it up, and it sets right down on there. When I get to this point, I just try to make sure that I have enough pad in front and enough pad behind. If you're going to have more pad anywhere, make sure there's more in front. Then I grab the pad right here at the gullet, and I pull it straight up so it gives room for those withers right there. Then I go to the opposite side, and I let down all of my cinches. Okay, so I'm gonna let down my cinches. This is a good time to check. Make sure you don't have twists anywhere. You don't have dirt anywhere that you're not supposed to have it. Everything looks good. So now that you've let down your cinches on the opposite side, you'll come over here and start doing this. What I think is the most safe to do is to just remember, if you're going to do one thing that keeps the saddle on, make sure it's the main cinch. If you do anything but the main cinch first, you're going to have problems. So just, if you're confused, always remember the main cinch. And this is also not the time to split them in half. So just get this on here. I like to cinch them up over like 2 or 3 times. So what I'll do this first time is just pull it snug and then put that in there, and then I stick it through there just so I remember that that is not tight. Now, if you have a horse that's moving a lot during this process, you'll want to stop here and make sure that they're, safe and still and not bothered, and then continue on. Then I go to the back cinch because that's the other thing that I would like to have stay on there. So I'll go ahead and do that. Once again, this guy, I do like to ride tight, but this first time I might just get it so it's touching. Now, if you ride with a breast collar, then you would go breast collar. Now, this horse is a little cinchy, and by cinchy I mean when you do all of this stuff up, he gets a little bit bothered. And so on every horse, what I like to do, once I feel like it's on there decent, which this one I would like a little bit tighter, so I'll go ahead and do that. Not too crazy tight. You can see him moving around a little bit with that. I'm going to go ahead and disengage his hindquarters. So if he has a real problem with this, you can see his back feet get stuck. He'll, hopefully be safe if he gets really, really worried. So what I'm looking for is his back feet to cross over. That tells me that he's somewhat accepting and relaxed. I'll come over here. Notice I'm staying way out of the way of him. If he were to lunge forward and get bothered, he can. Notice his back feet haven't crossed yet. See that there? That's kind of what we're going for. So that's just kind of that way of saddling. I'm going to go ahead and take this off real quick and show you the other way. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just do this up. We'll quickly put the saddle on the other way and then show you why that might make more sense for you. So it's basically directly opposite than the way I did the other side. I come over here mostly because when I used to start colts a lot, it made a lot of sense to only come onto this side once or limit the amount of times I came over on this side. So once again, keep this in your hand, grab your saddle pad, approach slowly, not like I'm doing. Okay, comb it back, stick it on just like the other way. If you've never saddled this way, it's going to feel real awkward the first few times. But same idea, stay up here at the front leg, swing it on, check to see your spacing, pull it up, and then let your cinches down, and it's exactly the same as the other way. This is what I prefer. It limits the amount of times I have to go back and forth, back and forth. And once they get good at it, it kind of balances it out in their mind. You're not just over on one side all the time. So that's kind of our approach of how we saddle a horse safely. If you like this video and want to see more videos just like this, please like and subscribe to the Startled Cowboy channel.